Hi Earth sign, surprise! I've got a little bit of extra time on my hands, so this is going to be an elemental earth reading. This will cover the signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn for August 2018. This is a general reading and it will not resonate with everyone. That requires a personal reading where I take your birth date, your full birth date, and your sun sign, pick you out in the collective, find you within the collective, and read the cards for you. I have a special going on right now. It will be ending on the 9th because I've had a lot of people go, oh man, I try to get a reading with X, Y, and Z and they're booked out for 3 to 6 months. I don't make people wait that long. I do readings. My turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours. It makes no sense for you to have to wait 3 to 6 months to gain some insight into your situation. Your situation may not even be again when it comes around, right? And so that being said, we're in between moon phases. We just had on the 26th of July a total lunar eclipse. We have a solar eclipse, a new moon solar eclipse coming up on August 11th. Eclipses are time frames where it's like a blackout information, a blackout situation. You're not going to have the full story or the full picture. I don't know if I don't want to say make matters worse, but to make it a bit more complicated and challenging, Mercury is also retrograde at the same time. So on the 11th, the sun and the moon will be sitting in the same house, which is the sign of Leo, the house of babies, lovers, and children, romance, courtship, and sex. Whether you want to get pregnant, in vitro fertilization, adoption, grandchildren, children. Maybe you're going to be an empty nester. I don't know. Maybe you're deciding whether or not you want to hold off having kids or not. Maybe you're dealing with a brand new partner in your life, but he's divorced and he's a single dad, or vice versa. So these are the things that the 5th house rule. So if you can, you might want to kind of put off making any major decisions because you're not going to have the full story. But also know that, you know, you can't stop living life because the planets are doing weird shit. You may have to make a decision with not all of the information. And if you find after the fact that you made a mistake, you can always go back and correct it. It's not really a mistake. It's a learning experience, and you can only operate based upon the information that you have to go with. However, if you really get a bad feeling about it, then the best suggestion is to wait, okay? Because there's going to be some more information that will help you, that will come about. So with that being said, this is a reading for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. For Virgo suns, and that would include me, Leo is in our 12th house. For Taurus, Leo is going to be, I think, in our, I want to say the 11th house. I'm not sure. And for Capricorn, I don't even know. So I'm not even gonna lie, my brain ain't even working that far. So let's put the 9 cards down and see what they have to say. There is the World card, there is the High Priestess, and there is the 10 of Swords. Now, this is Sun in Gemini, and for some of you this may go back to June, whatever this is, because this is the end of a cycle. Maybe it's something that you didn't act on, or you didn't follow your own intuition and your best advice, and you may find yourself here. But also know that this card is a changing energy. It's a 10, and it's also considered to be the darkest before the dawn. Well, there's a King of Cups. There is a Strength card. So here's our Leo card, and here is the Ace of Cups. Wow, isn't that something? Going straight from a 10 of Swords to an Ace of Cups. Wow. Here's a 10 of Wands. So now I have 2 10s, and here's a Tower card. Well, Uranus, which just, I want to say in May, moved into Taurus, has now hit retrograde to Taurus, and he will be there until I forget when he is going to retrograde all the way back into Aries, and then there's a Fool card. There's another Uranus energy. Well, isn't that something? Now let's see what's underneath the deck. And the underneath the deck tells us kind of what the overall energy is right now. It is the Nine of Swords. So obviously there's something very worrisome or something that you're worried about. This could just be that you are running over the same old thing over and over and over in your head again. It implies that you feel alone. It may be consciousness of guilt about something that you said or did, or something that you're thinking about saying or doing. It could be the fear, the worry, and anxiety that something's not going to go the way that you want it to. I don't see any coins here, but yet all three of those signs, they are known as sister signs, earth signs, so that's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, all have to do with work, money, finances, security, the physical realm. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana out of 4. So this tells me that there, in a sense, things are kind of out of your control. Okay. I don't know if this King of Cups, there's some kind of disappointment that he, I think as well, is experiencing. And then the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is the card not necessarily of burden. It can be that, right? Of just carrying so much weight and so much responsibility that you're about to buckle underneath it. But by the same token, it speaks to some kind of determination and focus to really just dig a little bit deeper and keep moving ahead. Now, there's something that this Ten of Wands person is walking into that is either going to give him a brand new lease on life, but that lease may come through some kind of major loss. Okay. Remember that the tower is the only man-made structure. So this could even be the idea that maybe you've been trying to build something, or maybe you've been working on your career and your position and your standing in the world and in society, and then something occurs and you lose those things. But the Fool on the back side of that is saying that you really should maintain hope and not lose sight of what the larger goal is. Why? Because Uranus, even though he speaks to chaos and rebellion and destruction and war, the unexpected, he also speaks to the idea of liberation and freedom through freeing you up, that all of a sudden you can suddenly realize, holy shit, that was kind of holding me back. I didn't even realize that was holding me back. Okay? Sometimes you have to lose something that was very dear to you in order to see the gift of release in it, right? So I'm going to look at 2 tens, speak to a change in a career, but typically it's for the better. The other meaning of the 2 tens is the end of a relationship and or phase in a relationship. Now this relationship can be a marriage, it can be a committed partner, it can be a business, it could be maybe you split, you had an argument with your brother and y'all ain't talking to each other. Maybe you had an argument with your kid and y'all aren't speaking to each other right now. So this end of a relationship or phase within the relationship may be coming about because it's trying to free you from something. Okay, so I know that's easier said than done sometimes. This King of Cups sometimes can speak about the law. He can represent aspects of the law, but water sign, so we're perhaps looking at a Cancer, Scorpio, and or Pisces. But he typically can be somebody who's very compassionate and understanding and kind, but he can also be really moody and emotionally manipulative. Okay. It's interesting that both this High Priestess has shown up because she does read like a person. She doesn't read necessarily like an energy. And And it's funny because we go from dark to light to dark, dark to light to light, dark to light to light. So let's see. The only cards I'm going to be able to read on in terms of this, these cards. This is definitely the time frame here this month, and this could be speaking about Uranus moving retrograde. It can speak, and this could be suddenly all of your plans like falling apart, but then all of a sudden you realize, holy shit, there's something else I can do. You know what? That frees me up to do this now. It could be that because it speaks to sometimes that sudden insight, that epiphany, that aha kind of a moment, being struck by lightning. And the Strength card here talks about feeling the fear and doing it anyway, getting in touch with your emotions. I've seen this card sometimes show up when it's about hot sex. I ain't even lying. Okay. It's a phallic symbol. Yes. So this could be some kind of sparkling sexual encounter. I mean, who knows? Sometimes this card is about again, getting in touch with that wild part of yourself, and in doing so, that's going to help you move through whatever situation that you are in. This is just a weird energy. So let me take a look. I can only look at the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Then we'll pull cards on this, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is look at this Ten of Cups as it relates to these two cards, the World, the High Priestess, the Strength, the Tower, and the Fool card. This is some crazy energy. But the thing is that it doesn't read like a whole bunch of drama. It just reads like shit just changing. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, the Ten of Swords tells me nothing. But what I can tell you, like I said, is the Ten of Swords, two of them together, speak to a career change for the better. Okay, and in effect, this is kind of like a 10. All 10s are related to the 1 cards. Okay, so maybe for you, this is a change in, again, that relationship status. All right, it may look bleak, and then all of a sudden it changes. I don't know. Let me look at this Ace of Cups would be next to see if it tells me anything. The aces are funny, and that they don't always give me all of the information that I need. It's definitely some new kind of beginning, and one that I feel is not going to be really smooth. There's going to be some kind of challenge with it, but this is still a 10, so it tells you that it's changing. You're almost there, and maybe something occurs out of the blue that completely liberates you, right? And now I'm going to look at this Ten of Wands, because the Ace of Cups didn't tell me anything either. So we're going to pull cards. Most people see this Tower card and they think the worst, and it doesn't always mean that. So you really have to learn how to view it. So what am I looking at? The Ten of Wands with the Fool is telling you to look carefully into a situation, as you may have misjudged or miscalculated a situation that needs reconsideration or correction before it is able to come to positive fruition. So that's what I'm saying. This could be simply the idea, aha, this is what I missed. And then you can positively move forward with faith. And I would suggest that you if you're struggling with something, that you think about that, because not to do so is foolish. Okay? It's tempting fate, so to speak. So let's take a look, first of all, at what this, let's look at this Ten of Swords. Amore. The Constellante Sorpresa. So this is a less than full success. So this was some kind of relationship. So that holds true about an end of a relationship or the phase of a relationship. This could be a work or relationship now too, okay? Let's not get all bent out of shape. And there's something about a married woman, respect and attraction to a married woman. Now, a lot of times I will see this character show up as the mistress or the other woman, one that nobody knows anything about. Whatever this thing is, it like, if this was you chucking somebody to the side or going, oh no, you married, I can't even fool with that, it's a 10. And maybe you did it because you've already been there and done that. That's the end of the cycle, right? Maybe this is something or someone coming back around. Well, he came with a cup, whoever he is. Let's look at this 10 of Wands. Maybe this person is limited or constrained in some way, because that's another meaning of Saturn. Maybe he's already committed to this Donna Maritata here. Let's look at this 10 of Wands. There he is, the Gran Signore, the King of Cups, the King of Cups. Oh, well, the Sacerdote. Huh. Sorry. And the Domestico. Well, no wonder he carrying 10 wands, because he trying to do the most. He may already be married, but he's trying to be like a single man, and he doesn't quite know what to do about it. Now remember, maybe he has offered you some help or assistance in some way. Okay, that's what he does. He's a servant, so a domestic. So his role is to help and assist, but he can also be a collaborator. You know, he's kind of a shady kind of a character. You don't know really why he's doing what he's doing. But if this is somebody that you recently met or you're dealing with, he got a lot of wands that he trying to hold on to. Okay, and maybe your intuition told you that about the person. How funny is that? Let me look at this Tower card. Jesus. And because I have this idea of, in this world card with these the North Node and the South Node on this card. Our North Node is in Leo at the moment, and our South Node is in Aquarius. Here with this Sun card, this could be something that has come up around the eclipse. Maybe that's the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse coming on the horizon. Darkest before the dawn. He trying to do the most. And then some. Lamante female. Speranza. So this is the hope card. Think of it like the yeah, it's the hope card, but this card could also represent fear. And then here is the Vecchia Signora. Now that is an odd card, but you know kind of what it kind of speaks to the three phases of the moon. What is it called? The maiden, the maiden, the something, and the crone. It's a Wiccan, a Wiccan thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about out there, because she speaks to an older relative. So this would be a mother or an aunt, but she also speaks to the idea of an old friend. So I'm not exactly sure if this is a good thing and or a bad thing. It definitely speaks to something unexpected. Okay, what that could be, I couldn't tell you. So that I don't know what else more to tell you. about this. I would suggest that you try to center and ground yourself, because definitely something unexpected is changing. I don't know if that's for you, or I don't know if it's for this King of Cups. Sometimes this card can be about saying the wrong thing. Sun in Gemini. And no matter what, that is Cupid, and he speaks to a sudden passion. This could be for a person, a place, intense passion, intense desire, but it's not deep love. Okay? The arrows do not wound deeply. And saying something or promising something that you weren't able to deliver, it could play out anyway. Alright, so that's what I have for you, Earth signs, for August 2018. Again, get on over if you want to gain some insight into your situation. You don't have to mesh this if you got something going on and you want to know. You don't always have to wait for me to do a reading. You want to know something, you need some well, isn't that interesting? Some news is coming. That's what fell off the deck. An offer. There's an offer coming. So, until next time, thanks for allowing me to read for you. Namaste.